Alright, y'all, what's up? Back again, here with the crew. DK Media featuring Callous Wing. Yeah, this is my band. And they're more into Dream Theater than I am, so I figured I'd have them on the show.
What up?
What up?
Yeah. So, new album just came out Friday, which we definitely didn't hear 2 weeks ago when it leaked.
No, not at all.
No,
Mm-mm.
I'm...
We're good, upstanding purchasers of albums here.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I bought it, but it's not here yet. So, anyway, you all know how this goes. So, track by track, here we go. The Alien. What do you guys got?
I think Alien is kind of, it's a good song, don't get me wrong, but it feels like they sat in the studio and they were like, alright, we need a single for this record. And then they wrote The Alien.
Yeah, I'm not too hot on it either. I mean, it's fine. I really like the intro. It kind of, really slays. But, once the vocals come in, I'm just like, alright, well...
That's just kind of Dream Theater in
course.
general, isn't it?
Of course, there's a point. Of course, we could all probably go on a separate, but somehow conjoined rant about James LaBrie and Dream Theater albums. Let's just boil it down to this. The man doesn't always have the greatest sets of lyrics to be working with. The deliveries are sometimes questionable. This is basically just going to cover everything LaBrie related for the rest of the album. I think it's easy to say that none of us here are relatively big fans of the man.
No. A rant coming next week, but...
Oh,
Anyway.
God, dude.
Can't wait. Okay, The Alien, though, I mean, honestly, I actually kind of enjoy this song, and to put a rather controversial point out there, I think it's, in my personal opinion, it's the most well put together, best flowing of the long songs on this album.
Even, the last one?
The last one's a lot longer, which means it has a lot more stuff going for it, but I just, I have some points about the last song.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a bad song.
No, I don't think it's a bad song at all.
It's just your standard DT stuff.
It's your standard Dream Theater single, really. I think.
You can kind of honestly say that about most of this album, though. I mean, if I'm being real.
I mean, that's true, but The Alien specifically feels like your standard Dream Theater single.
It definitely does, and maybe that's because it's just been out the longest. We've had the most time to soak it up. We've had the most extra accessory videos for it. You know, guitar deep dives, keyboard deep dives. I'm almost lyric deep dives. I don't know, but this thing has been promoted and promoted and heard and heard and heard. So maybe that's part of it. I really like the song. I don't think it's a bad way to open off the album at all.
Yeah, I mean, it has some cool leads towards the end.
Yeah.
But it's
I actually
fine.
had that in my notes that Jordan's keyboard solo was fucking cracked.
Yeah, Jordan went nuts all over this album.
Yeah, because even because I think we all made a point where there's a lot of chugging riffs.
There, and the verses especially.
Yeah, in the album, but there's always the keys.
The keys are always doing something.
Doing something to make it interesting.
Yeah,
which I think is cool.
I almost feel like to skip ahead a bit with this album. And maybe it's I don't know. I haven't been through a lot of Dream Theater in a long time, but this feels like more what Jordan, I don't want to say should be doing, but could be doing with songs, is having these different key tones for just good texture, and when the guitar isn't doing something that's entirely, awe-inspiring. It brings me back to what Kevin Moore was doing Images and Words in Awake, and I'm a big Kevin Moore era fanboy, OSI for life and all that shit. So that was definitely pleasing.
Fucking Jordan was just going off on this
He
record.
was.
This whole
He
fucking
absolutely
record,
was.
Man. I got 4 different notes about Jordan going off.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's about it for Alien, right?
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good Dream Theater single, but it is just that, a Dream Theater single.
Yeah.
With just about everything you'd expect, and nothing super eyebrow raising.
But yeah, on to Answering the Call.
Answering the Call.
Which has some pretty fire riffs, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Fucking grooving ass track, man.
I want to ask, did anybody during that, I guess the riff that they used for the second half of the chorus, did anybody with the keyboard sound with that, did anybody get Acid Rain vibes off of that at all, even slightly? Because I definitely did.
Kinda, yeah.
Well, now that you mention
Like
it,
the
a
fast
little.
kind of flurrying riff gave me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And oh my god, I had in my notes that riff around 425 that they used to go into the solo. That is one of the nastiest riffs on this album, groove-wise. It is incredible.
That whole song is just fucking grooving as
Yeah,
hell, man.
I really like this song.
Yeah, and then like I really like John My Young like accenting like some of the bass notes.
Yeah.
Like the kind of doubles towards the end.
Did anybody else? Because being a bassist, it obviously stood out to me, but I don't know. In anybody else's opinion, did the bass just sound kind of a bit like squashed, like or over compressed a little?
I didn't notice.
I think it might have been more noticeable during the Alien, so I should have brought it up there. But it just maybe just to my ear, the whole note, like it kind of sounded like I don't remember what track it was off of what Dead Men Say that you were complaining about the way Paolo's bass sounded, but it kind of gave me that kind of vibe. Yeah.
I gotta listen through and actually pay attention to the bass.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely better than Alien, I think.
No, the solo riff was nasty. The solo on top of it was even nastier. It's just a good high energy song the whole way through. Nothing there that doesn't need to be there. Just really good banger, honestly. Good acid rainy banger.
Which was the second single.
Yes. I really like this song. The riff that they kick off with, to me at least, and you guys can comment if it does it well, that riff that like comes back as like the second half of the chorus as well, that sounds like you could have dropped that anywhere in Images and Words and it would have fit in. It's a really good riff. I like that one.
Yeah, see, I don't know Images and Words that well, so that's why you guys are here.
Yeah, fair enough.
To make that connection.
Honestly, as true as that might be, I still think Invisible Monster is probably the weakest track on this record.
I'm gonna have to argue with you on that one a bit later.
Yeah.
I think it just sounds like a Dream Theater song.
No, I mean...
It sounds like a bit of a Images and Words callback, to be honest, which maybe it's just me missing some of the old stuff. I don't mind.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, because I don't think a lot of fans were generally happy with this one.
No?
Like, when it came out, I saw a lot of people being like, yeah, it's just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I really like it. Like, the chorus... I know we were just saying, like, talking shit about James LaBrie.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a lot of choruses in this album that I'm straight up, like, singing along to.
Yeah. No,
'Cause it's catchy.
There are some hooky choruses for sure.
Yeah.
Shame about a lot of the verses and just the need to, like, do, like, tech chugs, but...
Yeah. Yeah, but again, Jordan is like, yeah, let me just do
Jordan
some,
just
like,
all over this
atmospheric
thing, you know?
stuff to make it not boring.
Like, again, more Images and Words, more Kevin Moore almost.
I don't know, man. It reminds me of Distance Over Time, which, like, I'm not a huge fan of Distance Over Time.
No?
I remember listening to it down here, like, when it first came out, and getting to the end of it, and it's like, yeah, that sure was a Dream Theater record. And that's kind of how I feel about this song. It's like, yeah, that sure was a Dream Theater song.
Like, I do really like the, where it kind of goes clean in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Dream Theater's clean breaks are always pretty
And,
rad,
yo,
honestly.
I gotta say, like, Mangini really stepped his shit up on this album, too.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Like, that man...
From the opening of the Alien, basically.
Yeah, like, that man is doing some serious cymbal grooving.
Yes.
And...
I was going to bring that up in the next track, actually.
I dig it. Like, he's doing some good shit with the cymbals.
Mm-hmm.
And Genie's, like, actually properly going off now.
Yeah.
And it took him 10 years.
Hey. Anyway.
But yeah, that's Invisible Monster. I think we all just kind of think it's decent.
Yeah.
Sleeping Giant.
Sleeping Giant.
Now, I saw in your notes, you're like, this is the first song that stands out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, this is easily, like, my least favorite song in the album.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with how fucking off Mangini goes in this track, especially at the end.
Like, again, the intro really slays.
Yes.
But, like, this song kind of reminds me of The Alien, except without as many parts I like in it.
Yeah, the thing about this track to me is this could have been, not to say it's not a good song, because it is, it could have been better in my mind. Just when I think of the title, when I think about, because obviously it's playing on the whole you don't wake a sleeping giant and like anger underneath and all that, I honestly would have liked it if the song just started off heavy and angry, and if that really neat sounding... I commented actually that the intro to this song, that clean intro, is maybe the most. It's like the newest sounding thing to me that Dream Theater has done for a while. And I kind of wanted them to have that thing fade in at the end. Like, you start off with the anger, the giant rampaging about and all that shit, and then you fade out to that, and yeah, there's the sleeping part. A lot of cool stuff going on. I mean, there was the bits at the front where Jordan goes from the synth to, like, the Damnation era Mellotron, and then into the rock organ. Just, again, Jordan just going off all over this album. I just, honestly, another disappointing chuggy verse, but they could have probably trimmed this track down a little bit. I love the Jordan and John, soloing back and forth hour, but they probably could have trimmed the fat on this one a little bit to make it a bit better. Maybe play around with how that clean thing comes about, but not a bad song at all. Certainly not my least favorite on this album.
Yeah, especially because they got the fucking 20-minute track at the end with just, like, half of it is just Jordan and John's solo hour.
Yes.
Alien is just, like, your standard Dream Theater single, like I said, and then the other two are just, I feel like they're just kind of whatever. Like, even Answering the Call, even though it is really fucking groovy, I still feel like it's just kind of like a regular Dream Theater song that happens to have a lot of groove in it.
Okay. I'd like to start with this one because this, to me, is easily the best song on this record.
Yeah, same, actually.
Really?
Yes. There's nothing, like we were just talking about with Sleeping Giant, a point to me with Dream Theater, there's nothing unnecessary about this one. There's no frills just for the sake of frills. The whole thing is honestly the most different sounding thing on this record. No chuggy verses. To me, it honestly sounds like Dream Theater writing another love letter to Rush. That's what I picked up, and honestly, you were talking about some cool choruses and stuff on this album.
Yeah.
The pre-chorus to this one, where I don't remember how it's like the da 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 da, and then it goes scattered to the wind. I honestly thought that the whole instrumentation there and all of that was really cool. Just a lot of really good, clean stuff going on here, and I gotta say, having the guitar and everything fade out to just the keyboard is any fucking time you can do that really well. It's just a chef's kiss. It's just such a good song. Nothing unnecessary about it. It takes the time that it needs to take, and then it leaves with style.
Honestly, you were talking earlier about some of these songs or some of these parts could have been on Images and Words. This is the song I feel like actually could have been on Images and Words.
Yeah, I can hear it now that I'm thinking about it, honestly.
Yeah. I think it's my second favorite song. Okay. I also really like it too.
Yeah.
But there's one more that
there's one more
I really dig. But this is a very, very upbeat song, which usually I don't Dream Theater songs
you don't
like
your
that.
Dream Theater upbeat?
They're like, I don't know, man. Just something. I think it's Mangini. Like his
I think it's Jordan.
More cymbal work. Jordan too. I think everyone is just. They just stepped up their shit just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking Petrucci in the solo. I don't know how that man picks that fast when he's 54 years old. Like, it pisses me off. I can't pick that fast. I'm fucking half his age.
I feel like this is one we're gonna fight on.
Awaken the Master is one that my Young wrote lyrics on.
There's the goddamn H string I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my one note, I wrote one note for this fucking song. It was Petrucci with an 8-string terrifies me.
This is my favorite song.
No, this is easily my least.
Damn.
This song, other than the initial shock to me, other than the initial holy crap, John Petrucci has an 8-string, and one more moment that I'll point out, this song nothing about this song really caught me. It was just another 9-minute thing that probably could have been cut down. More chuggy verses, more just stuff. Unlike the other songs ahead of it with Invisible Monsters and Answering the Call, there's nothing that really caught me about this one other than the moment 6 minutes in. I don't know if you probably heard this the same way, Dale. I guess I'll just describe it. The bit where John Petrucci sounds like Buckethead.
Yeah.
That was the thing that really snapped me back into attention with this song, because every time I listened to it, I was just, it just kind of passed. Nothing really stood out. Nothing really kept my ear on it, That's
weird, because that's how I felt about Invisible Monster, but this one actually was holding my attention the whole way.
Yeah.
It might be because I saw that My Young wrote lyrics for it, and that got me curious because he like never writes lyrics for shit. But like,
I don't even pay attention to lyrics. It was just really, just more, especially the riff immediately after the chorus, where it kind of like goes up, and then like Mangini is slaying on the ride cymbal, matching his speed.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I just.
And then the whole middle section where it like really slows down, and it's like wow, like oh.
Yeah. Other than that midsection, I don't know. I just think it's the long song. It's the one long song in this album that I don't know. I could take or leave off the album. Great that Petrucci has an 8-string, but let's see what he does with it for the next album. Because this
Should
one
have used it more.
yeah, he should have actually. I'm looking forward to the next record now.
Yeah.
Which leads us into the last one, which is our title track.
The view from the top of the world.
Do you just talk about how there's actually blasts on a Dream Theater song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, are those fucking blasts, bro?
Yeah.
For like 3 seconds?
There's still blasts on a Dream Theater record.
Yeah.
My man blasted.
I honestly gotta say about this song, it's good to hear another Dream Theater epic. We haven't gotten one of these since, what was it?
Illumination Theory?
Illumination Theory,
Yeah.
So it's been a good few years. This one has a really good this one does a really good job of, like, kind of instrumentally portraying the epicness of the title, and I absolutely fucking love the clean section in the middle of this
Yeah,
album. I don't know about
abso-fucking-lutely.
anybody else, but at times that clean section gave me Disease Injury Madness vibes.
I don't know about Disease Injury Madness vibes, but dude, that clean section is fucking tight as hell, especially when the violin comes in.
Yes.
I'm a sucker
Yeah,
for
like
violin,
some of that,
man.
I don't know, something about some of that chord progression and with the violin, it gave me like, it's not the exact sound, but it harkened back to like Disease Injury Madness when everything basically drops out but the guitar and like the low drones.
Yeah.
And that really drew me in. I can't remember them off the top of my head. There were a couple of like section to section transitions that didn't quite click with me. I wasn't 100% sure about them. I wasn't 100% sure about them bringing the intro riff back in at the end. It didn't quite catch me as well as I think the effect they were going for.
Yeah,
But-
I thought that was goofy.
Yeah, that was a bit goofy.
Like,
You gotta have your bookends, man. It's Dream Theater.
I don't know.
Remember Octavarium and like
And-
eight records before Octavarium?
I know we said we weren't gonna pick on Labrie too much, but I made a note here about, I don't know who wrote this lyric, but the line, hanging on the brink of death, you're never more alive. Fuck that shit. I'd laugh at that in a C action movie, let alone a Dream Theater album. And not the good kind of laugh.
I don't know. I don't think DT's ever had the best lyrics.
No.
I mean, it could be worse, man. It's not like Count of Tuscany bad.
No. Again, this is another song where you could have probably trimmed a little bit out here and there, but overall, it's not. I'd call it like a middle of the pack Dream Theater epic. It's not one that's going to compel me to go and listen to it every single time I go through the album, but it's not bad either.
Yeah.
I think the second half especially, like,
Yeah.
I don't even have anything to say like before the clean part because
Yes.
it's just whatever.
Yeah.
But like as soon as it goes clean and then like
Everything
that-
from the clean part after.
yeah, like the descent down and then like that crazy fill and then it goes ham again.
Yes.
Yeah. The last half of the song absolutely slays.
Yeah.
Dude, I even have in my notes that the instrumental breaks are the best parts of the Dream Theater epic songs. It's like we're not even talking about the verse or the chorus parts. We're just talking about the fucking the
Yes.
shit in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the end of the record, though, man.
That is 7 tracks.
Yeah.
That's what the least amount of tracks they've had in quite some time.
I mean, do we want to? Yeah.
Overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts?
Overall, I'd listen to this record over the last 4 that they put out any day. Easy.
The last 4? I don't
Yeah.
know about that. I honestly, in the Mangini era, I would call this middle of the pack. I don't think this beats out the self-titled or I don't think this beats out the self-titled or dramatic. But I would obviously easily listen to this over the Astonishing. And honestly, this is kind of fighting with Distance Over Time for me, because I mean, after they laid the present on the carpet that was the Astonishing, I honestly thought it was kind of neat of them to put out the shortest album, the first album since Images and Words for them that was under an hour in Distance Over Time. And honestly, I think condensing the songs and focusing on them a bit more kind of made them a little better. So, this might just slightly edge out Distance Over Time for me if we're talking Mangini era stuff. I think this is relatively middle. Not a bad album by any means, but there are others that compel me to listen to it more.
The only one this one's fighting with me is Dramatic Turn of Events. That's the only one I would maybe listen to over this one. Like, I like the self-titled. But this one has more tracks on it that I like than the self-titled.
I think this album is significantly better than anything they've done in the last 10 years.
Wow.
I fucking loved this album. Like, way more than I thought I would. Like, I would take this album over the other 4 together.
Damn.
Like, it annoyed me. Labrie annoyed me so much less. Because he didn't go for those, like, extremely high notes, which I think he is horrible at. And there's no, like, really clean stuff where he tries to soothe you. So, like, I didn't get angry at any point in this album, which is a big step up. Like we said before, Mangini also stepped this shit up.
Yeah, I think we can probably obviously agree Jordan Rudess for album MVP.
Yeah. Yep.
With Mangini kind of barking at his heels.
Yeah, Jordan for MVP, Mangini for Most Improved.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely could use more H string.
Mhm.
I was really excited for that, but it's only
Yeah.
in one song.
It was only like one riff.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, I mean, like I said, this is kind of a middle of the pack album for me. It's kind of regretful that the bass, at least to my ear, was kind of I don't know if it was over compressed or just squashed back a bit. A lot of the songs honestly kind of felt like they kind of went along like a production line style format. You've got like your intro riff, and then you get like the lead that kind of extends everything into the verse, chorus. They all, without citing as an exact specific floor plan, because they do deviate a bit from song to song, but most of the songs on this record, other than Transcending Time, I kind of felt like could have fit into one of like 1 or 2 cookie cutters. Not to say that they're bad, but just maybe something I picked up on.
I mean, if we're being real, that's kind of how Dream Theater in general has felt since fucking Portnoy left. Except for The Astonishing, which was fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's definitely true. They definitely, when you kick out, when you lose a guy who writes and contributes to the band and helps with the production in the amount that Mike Portnoy does, and you don't really bring somebody in who can fill in some of those gaps. Not to say Mangini doesn't write or anything, but I don't know if he writes quite as I feel like a lot of the writing got more dumped onto John and Jordan.
Well, yeah, dude. Mangini's only got 1 lyric credit the whole time he's been in the band.
Well, I'm not even talking lyric writing. I'm talking songwriting.
Well, I mean, lyric writing is like the thing that they credit,
Yeah,
and you know, Portnoy had like at least half the lyrics on every record he was on.
that is true.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, John's been busy as shit lately.
John has been busy. New
Like-
Liquid Tension, new solo album.
Yeah.
I know this.
Mm-hmm.
And now he found time for it all.
Maybe that's why this one has like a lot of chugging verses. He's like, bro,
I'm out of riffs.
how many goddamn riffs do you think I could write?
Help me out here, guys. Write some riffs.
But yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Alex thinks it's fine. Dale liked it, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
So that's the end. Tune in next week when I rank all these albums. Everyone's gonna be surprised where this one's gonna land. And then we have a new Mastodon album coming out,
Oh yeah.
In a couple
Crushed and
days.
Grim.
Mm-hmm.
which I'm pretty hyped for.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because Mastodon's been in a hot streak lately.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
they have.
Yep.
So I don't know which one's coming first, but look forward to both of those very closely. Because no goddamn Devin
Again.
Yeah.
to December.
Yep.
Son of a bitch. All right, y'all. Peace.